Hello there everyone, this is Seb and welcome to another vlog thingy. And today I'm actually rested up nicely, unlike yesterday. So I'm very sorry that this video is a day late. But yeah, I did try to record something yesterday but it just didn't come out right. And I was very sleep deprived after a very long meeting. But more on that in just a bit. Just for now, this morning I spent a bit of time to actually see if I could set up a bit of a studio setting. Like it is very amateuristic and everything is just standing on one leg, and I'm expecting like some kind of domino effect in just a moment. But yeah, I'm just experimenting a bit with some lighting and stuff. And I actually over the weekend cleaned out the attic a bit, so you know I could actually sit decently here in front of the camera again. This was starting to pile up full with junk. Actually, it was kind of a messy place. But yeah, since I do want to focus more on YouTube and video making again, I want to see if I can change the attic into a proper game room, get a bit more like actually make use of a nice place to play some retro games. Like right now it's not so nice, very barren and such. But yeah, make a nice little spot where you can actually invite someone to play some games. And also I want to come up with a better way to organize my games. Like for some games it's okay, but other games they're just in boxes somewhere, and it's just impossible to find what you want. Like if I were to say, I feel like playing the 3DO today, like granted it doesn't come up too often, but no, I do kind of like the video, go figure. But yeah, I wouldn't know where to start. Is it to the left, to the right, or is it on the other side of the attic altogether? I have no clue, so I need to reorganize everything and actually come up with a solution to just store everything in a neat fashion so that you can actually keep track of where everything is and just find the stuff that you want. And I have an idea on how to do that, but it will take some building and stuff, which is not really my forte, but my father can help me with that if he has a bit of downtime from his job, which is very busy at the moment. So, you know, once we can get together on that, then we can probably build something nice here and have some fun with that. And also, as I go through my collection, I have a couple of doubles which I really need to sell, or just stuff I do not use and it's just taking up space. Like for example, like for example this, like the Square Millennium thing for Chrono Cross. There was a whole bunch of these, and at one point I got this with a bunch of PS1 games, but it's just not something I'm going to collect for. So, you know, and it's, as you can see, it's a big box and it's complete, but it's just not something I'm gonna use or need or want. I prefer other stuff that I can actually play, and you know, yeah, you can play that, but I can't read Japanese. So I prefer other games really that are more up my alley and take up less space. And there's quite a few other things that I just need to get rid of to create some space, and you know, it will be fun for some trading. So perhaps in the future I will have some trading vids up, or maybe some selling vids. And I prefer trading actually, because I just want the stuff to be used by some fans who actually want it, and just get something else in return that I want. I think that's, you know, the power of a gaming community. You trade the games, find stuff, you interchange what you want. You know, that's the best way to go about it, I think. Especially with these ridiculous prices nowadays, it's just inflated way beyond what's comfortable. Oh man. But yeah, so busy with the attic here, slowly turning it into something that's presentable as a gaming room, and perhaps a studio, like maybe some proper lighting. Like the one thing that I really miss now, the primitive lights that I use now, they are kind of good, they have a nice spread and such, but there's no light from above, which is really what's missing right now, I think. You know, I do have a green screen somewhere, so you know, it would be fun to play around with that as well at some point. So yeah, perhaps turn this into a game room and studio as well to have some more elaborate video making stuff happening as well. So you know, that's all cool for the future, and it's awesome. But yeah, lately, like yesterday, I had a very long meeting, like 4 hours. It was very awesome. It was a good meeting. But man, I was so tired. For like over the entire weekend, I couldn't sleep at all, and it's just. Normally, I have no trouble sleeping. I can just lie somewhere. I don't even need a cushion, and I just. I'm gone. No problem. But sometimes I have these periods where I just cannot sleep at all. I don't know what it is. It doesn't seem to be related to my workload at the moment, because sometimes I have a very busy schedule and I can sleep perfectly, and sometimes I just can't, and sometimes it's in reverse, like there's nothing to do and I can't sleep at all. It's just, I have no clue what it is. It just seems to periodically just creep up there, where there's a couple of nights where I just can't sleep at all, and it sucks. And I do have some sleeping pills. I have a prescription plan for those. But obviously I don't want to use them. I only tend to use them when there is something very important coming up where I just need to be rested. So I actually did take one last night, because after this video I will need to head out, and there is actually a very important meeting in which I'm going to have a meeting with the local government to see if we can put up a little goalball project in the neighborhood. Well, not in this neighborhood, but in a different neighborhood of the city here, to give goalball clinics to schools, and you know, give them a bit of a blind experience, as it were, and also to build up some respect, and just give them a different way of moving their physical exercise classes, which is gonna be really awesome. I hope it gets through. So far, from what I've heard, all the people who've seen the plan so far are really enthusiastic about it. So you know, I have high hopes for that, and it looks very cool indeed. But yeah, it's just terrible when you can't sleep, and I've even had times where I take the pill and I still can't sleep. It's just ridiculous. So I'm just curious, do other people experience that as well? Like there's just periods where you cannot sleep at all. And what do you do in such situations? Do you just go out? I mean, sometimes I just lie there on 2 a.m. and I just figure, you know, I can't sleep, I'm not sleepy, I'm just going to go out and I'm going to work on something, you know. And yeah, that sucks around 6 a.m. when you get really tired, but even then I can't sleep sometimes. Or do you have other methods to try and go to sleep? Like something that I always use when I go to sleep is I put up an audiobook. You know, like in the old times, like a bedtime story. I listen to books at night. I love reading books, but I hate reading books. I read through audio, and you know, reading normally is just too slow. However, I've heard lately that audiobooks become really popular with most people actually. So I'm just curious, do more people read audiobooks lately? Just curious. Currently I'm actually listening through the series. Well, I'm actually done with the series, almost in the final book now. From the Song of Ice and Fire, you know, the Game of Thrones series is based on, which is really neat, and I'm listening that in the original English version, which everyone around me tells me it's a bit weird, but I don't know, I just prefer to read as much as I can in the original source. Also, my mother also listens to audiobooks, and I have heard some snippets of the Dutch version. And let me tell you, that stuff is not very well translated. Well, the translation is good, but the localization is just terrible. Basically, there is none at all, which is kind of understandable, because at the time the book was released, who was to know that it was gonna get this popular, right? So it didn't really get that much attention, I suppose. But it just makes it sound very, very, very horrible, because there's a lot of literal translations, which usually don't sound that great, but then the names, they kept them English, but those just do not sound right in Dutch context, and so yeah, you get a terrible sounding book. But whatever, English is awesome. Also, I've also always noticed that there is such big difference in the quality and how the books are read. In English, most books are read with awesome voices. People actually give different voices to the characters, they have great intonation, and the Dutch versions, it's very hit and miss, which is understandable because in the Netherlands, the people who read the books, they're all volunteers. Well, there are actually some special publications where there is actually money put into some actual voice work, but usually it's all volunteers work. So you've got some people who have, they actually are very talented readers, and you've got some people, not so much, and that can actually kind of make or break a book reading, believe it or not. I've put away books because the teller was just terrible, and you couldn't follow it. A quick example was, especially when there is English words, sometimes they have no clue. Like laser, it's just in Dutch you can perfectly fine say laser and everyone knows what you're talking about. But this one reader actually had this science fiction book, and every time there was laser, she would say laser. It was like, what? That can just totally break the experience, and makes for some funny things, but it just pulls you right out of it. But yeah, that's what I use to kind of fall asleep. Sometimes this can also work against you, when there's a very tense bit in the book, then you don't want to fall asleep because, you want to know what's happening, and that can actually work against you. But usually it works well enough, and I sleep within an hour, and it's all cool. Also weird when sleeping, I can not sleep on my back, which is also very odd. Like this is most problematic, like for example when I travel in an airplane. When I sit there for 7 hours, I cannot sleep. It's just not happening. I constantly keep aware of my surroundings. Don't know why. Well, I'm kind of having a suspicion. I used to believe that whenever I lay on my back, that I would get nightmares. So as a kid, I would not lay on my back anymore. So I'm thinking that has to do with it. Coincidentally, I haven't had a nightmare since like I was 4. So maybe it actually works. Though I'm also kind of a lucid dreamer. So even if something bad happens in a dream, I don't perceive it as such anymore. So, it's kind of debatable. I'm just a weird sleeper, I guess. But yeah, when I sleep well, and when there's one of these periods, I just curse myself because it's terrible. So just curious, do you have sometimes where you can't sleep? And if so, what do you do to prevent that, or to actually make yourself fall asleep? Do you count sheep? Or do you just go out, do stuff, or something entirely different? Do you take honey with hot milk? Never worked for me, but some people swear by it. Anyway guys, please also let me know what you think of the lighting so far. I think it's okay now, it really misses the light from above. It's not ideal to set up. As I said, everyone is just held up by strings and standing on one leg, so I actually kick the cats out. Normally I'm fine with the cats, but you know how cats are, they're like little terrorists, and I'm pretty sure that if they're in here now, then no lamp would be spared, so I just kick them out, and they're a bit disgruntled in front of the door on the outside. So, I'm actually gonna end it, and I'm gonna let them in again, and yeah, I think this is it for today. Coming up, well, there's still the voice acting thingy, so I need to prepare that a bit. Hopefully, maybe Friday. There's some stuff I still need to do, and Saturday there's also a competition day, which is gonna be interesting. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna pull it off, but I'll do my best, we'll see. And yeah. Otherwise, there is another vlog thingy next week, so hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, take care. Bye bye for now.